What is up? YouTube, what's going on, man? Hey, check it out. Without a doubt, breaking news, goodbye forever, man. Hey, anytime I thought I'd go ahead and check this joint out, man, because anytime I see Martin Lawrence, I stop and take a listen. I've been a true Martin Lawrence fan. Martin Lawrence went to my high school. I think he went there for 1 year. He may not even went the whole year, but he in my yearbook with me, cousin. I got receipts. Ain't that how they said? Where's your receipts? I got receipts, man. Yeah. Martin went to school with me. Let me see something, man. Let me see something. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that light off because I got so much clear light coming from the monitors. Check it out, man. Yeah, when this how it happens. See, I'm gonna tell you exactly. Uncle Mike like to be honest with y'all because it's funnier. The stories for me is more funny when I just straight up tell the truth. The whole time he was in Friendly High School with me, I didn't know he was there. I didn't know. I'm looking at now he popular or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's funny. Whatever. Everybody checking him out. I still don't know that he went to Friendly. One day, one of my friends or somebody said, man, you know he went to Friendly with us. He did, for real, because I was already a fan or whatever. For real, yeah, man, he in the yearbook and everything. And I ran and checked the yearbook, and he's on the very next page. So now I'm running around, yeah, man, I went to school with my Lawrence. You know, like that means something, right? Like that really means something. I went to school with Martin Lawrence, man. I went to school with Martin Lawrence. And I think I remember him walking down the hallway. It's like a certain hallway where you got the electronic class, the wood shop, metal, drama class, and all that stuff. I want to think that I remembered him walking up and down the hallways or something. Yeah. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But no, seriously though, man, I've always been a Martin fan and everything, and I kind of kept up on his career, man. My little feelings was hurt when he was going overboard trying to get a little too trying to do a little ditty with the girl that was playing his girlfriend. You know, look, we playing a part. We work together. This is work. And he was going a little overboard, man. So anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man. Martin Lawrence's sentence is final. His sentence is final, and it's not looking good. Is he in trouble again, y'all? I don't know. I've been keeping up on the Diddy trial, so y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man. Let's check this bad boy. Yeah,
people falling out of chairs. I mean, screaming in agony because they're laughing so hard. And it was, this was 1994.
Hey,
Martin Lawrence was the king, dude. I'm telling you.
Martin Lawrence was a name once synonymous with laughter and legacy. He was a comedian, an icon, a household name. For decades, he was the man behind some of our biggest laughs, but now etched into headlines for a very different reason. From the quick-witted hustler on Martin to the unforgettable Mike Lowrey in Bad Boys, his face was everywhere. His voice a soundtrack to a generation. Now, that voice has been silenced by a final sentence that no one saw coming, and it's not looking good. This isn't just a story about a court case. It's about a man we thought we knew, facing a fate we hoped he'd never meet.
You are not Martin Lawrence. You are a Martin Lawrence clone.
Who made that up? AI? I'm the real thing, baby.
What happened to Martin Lawrence?
AI.
How did one of the biggest names in Hollywood find himself at the center of a legal and public reckoning? And more importantly, does this final sentence mean goodbye forever to his future, his legacy, and the millions who still hold on to the hope of redemption?
Damn, he looked just like his mother.
Martin Lawrence's rise to the top of the comedy world showcases his natural talent and unwavering determination. Born in Frankfurt, Germany, and raised in the United States, Lawrence's early life was marked by profound strength.
Dang.
After his parents' divorce, his mother worked tirelessly to support 6 children, instilling in Martin a work ethic that would later define his rise. As a teenager, Lawrence flirted with a boxing career before an eye injury redirected his ambitions toward comedy, a twist of fate that would ultimately shape the landscape of American entertainment. Lawrence's ascent began on the gritty, stand-up stages of Washington, D.C. and New York City, where his observational humor and energetic delivery quickly set him apart. His big break came with an appearance on Star Search, which, though brief, opened doors to television roles and eventually a recurring spot on What's Happening Now. But it was his electrifying performances on HBO's Def Comedy Jam that truly announced his arrival. As host, Lawrence's fearless wit and improvisational genius helped launch the careers of countless comedians while establishing him as a force in the industry. The defining moment of Lawrence's career arrived in 1992 with the debut of Martin on Fox. The sitcom became a cultural phenomenon, dominating Thursday night television and drawing millions of viewers away from established network giants. Lawrence's portrayal of Martin Payne, a charismatic, quick-tongued radio host, was just the beginning. His ability to embody a range of unforgettable characters, from the flamboyant Shenanigans Jenkins to the scheming Jerome, showcased his versatility and comedic brilliance. The NAACP honored Martin with its Image Award, recognizing the show's impact and Lawrence's unique voice. At the peak of his influence, Lawrence seamlessly transitioned to the big screen. His role alongside Will Smith in Michael Bay's Bad Boys in 1995 catapulted him into Hollywood stardom, cementing his status as a box office draw. Hits like Big Mama's House and Blue Streak further expanded his reach, while his stand-up specials and comedy albums marked by raw, unfiltered humor solidified his reputation as a comedic powerhouse. Lawrence's larger-than-life personality radiated both on and off screen. Known for his high-energy performances, physical comedy, and expressive gestures, he became a household name and a role model for aspiring comedians. His influence extended beyond laughter. Lawrence's work broke barriers for Black entertainers and inspired a new generation to embrace authenticity and challenge societal norms. But with fame came immense pressure, the expectations of success, the responsibility to support those around him, and the relentless demands of the spotlight created a weight few could imagine. As Lawrence himself once reflected, "Success is measured in your happiness, 'cause if you ain't happy, it don't mean a damn." The very fame that built his legend also built the pressure, fueled by the final sentence. Martin Lawrence's reign as the king of comedy is undeniable. His laughter echoed across generations. His characters became cultural touchstones, and his legacy in entertainment is secure. Yet, even at the height of his power, the stage was set for challenges ahead. The first signs. As Martin Lawrence's star continued to rise through the 1990s, the pressures of fame began to reveal their hidden cost. While millions tuned in for laughter, behind the scenes, the cracks were starting to show. The world saw the king of comedy, but those close to Lawrence began noticing troubling signs that something wasn't right. In the mid-1990s, Lawrence's life began to attract headlines for reasons that had nothing to do with punchlines or box office hits. In 1996, he was arrested at a Los Angeles airport after reportedly shouting at travelers and behaving erratically. Witnesses described a scene that was as confusing as it was concerning. Lawrence, usually so composed on stage, appeared agitated and disoriented. The incident led to questions about his well-being, but no clear answers emerged. That same year, Lawrence faced another brush with the law when he was found wandering in traffic on Ventura Boulevard, waving a handgun and shouting that someone was trying to kill him. He was hospitalized and treated for exhaustion and dehydration. It was a moment that shocked fans and industry insiders alike, as the man known for his control and charisma seemed to be losing his grip. These weren't isolated incidents. In 1997, Lawrence was again in the headlines after being arrested for allegedly punching a man in a Los Angeles nightclub. Though the charges were eventually dropped, the pattern of erratic behavior was impossible to ignore. Each event added another layer to the growing sense that the pressures of fame were taking a toll. Throughout this period, Lawrence's professional life continued at a breakneck pace. He was filming movies, producing television, and performing stand-up, all while navigating the relentless scrutiny that comes with being a celebrity. The demands were immense, and the expectations even greater. For someone who had become a symbol of success, the reality behind the scenes was far more complex. The media coverage of these incidents was often sensational, but the facts remained. Martin Lawrence was struggling. Friends and colleagues expressed concern, but Lawrence himself rarely spoke publicly about these challenges. Instead, he pressed forward, determined to maintain his place at the top. The same fame and pressure that built Martin Lawrence's legend were beginning to show their cost. The sentence wasn't written yet, but the pen was moving. With each incident, the world glimpsed the toll that life in the spotlight could exact, and the stage was set for even worse hits. A troubled road. Martin Lawrence's journey through fame was far from smooth, marked by a series of legal and personal challenges that threatened to overshadow his towering career. The headline, grabbing incidents and courtroom battles, painted a picture of a star whose life was spiraling, blurring the line between star and fate. Goodbye Forever began to echo with unsettling realism. The first major public sign of trouble came in 1996, a year that would set the tone for much of Lawrence's tumultuous path. In a shocking incident, he was found wandering Ventura Boulevard in California, erratically dodging traffic while carrying a firearm. According to reports, Lawrence was in a marijuana-induced haze, a state that could have easily led to tragedy. Police intervened, and though he was detained, he was not arrested. The incident exposed the immense pressure weighing on the comedian, whose fame was now matched by personal instability. Just 2 months later, Lawrence faced another legal scare when he was arrested at Burbank Airport for carrying a loaded gun in his carry-on luggage. This led to a sentence of 2 years probation, a stark contrast to the carefree image many fans had of the star. 1997 brought more legal woes. Lawrence was arrested following a nightclub altercation where he allegedly punched a man after a minor bump.
Dang.
Though the incident was serious enough to warrant charges of misdemeanor battery, Lawrence avoided prison time, receiving community service and probation instead. This episode was emblematic of a man struggling to maintain control amid mounting pressures. The same year, Lawrence faced perhaps his most damaging legal challenge. His former Martin co-star, Tisha Campbell, filed a SA lawsuit against him, alleging repeated and escalating harassment, battery, verbal abuse, and related threats during their time working together. The allegations shocked fans and industry insiders alike, casting a shadow over the beloved sitcom and its star. Lawrence has since spoken about the lawsuit, denying the claims and stating that he chose to end the Martin series, partly because of the controversy. He described the allegations as a lot of bullshit. Beyond these headline incidents, Lawrence's legal troubles were compounded by struggles with mental health and substance use. His erratic behavior was not a standalone event, but part of a broader pattern of breakdowns. In 1999, Lawrence suffered a near-fatal health scare when he collapsed into a 3-day coma after jogging in a rubber suit and wool cap during a sweltering summer day, causing his body temperature to spike to 107 degrees. This incident underscored the physical and emotional toll his lifestyle was taking. Additional legal issues surfaced over the years, including lawsuits and accusations that, while less publicized, contributed to the final sentence of a star battling inner demons. In 1995, Lawrence faced a lawsuit from a man who claimed to have been assaulted at Lawrence's bachelor party, though the case was eventually dismissed after investigations found no evidence implicating Lawrence. The cumulative effect of these events was a stark contrast to the image of the charismatic, larger-than-life entertainer who once ruled the comedy world. The pressures of fame, personal struggles, and legal battles intertwined, threatening to bring down a man who had once seemed untouchable. It fueled the moments when it seemed possible to bid the comic, career, and perhaps his freedom goodbye forever. But it also hints at the uncertain line between an ending and a new beginning, a tension that has defined much of his life. He has spoken about stepping back from the spotlight to focus on his health and family. This statement evidenced that he faced his most daunting battles, not on stage or screen, but in the courts and within himself. The legal troubles, hospitalizations, and allegations were more than headlines. They were the cracks in the armor of a star whose sentence seemed final and whose future was, for a time, not looking good. The final sentence. There's no official courtroom decision. No closing statement by a judge. The lawsuit filed by Tisha Campbell, his co-worker, was eventually settled out of court, but the damage was done, and for Martin Lawrence, something felt final. His sentence, while never legally declared in headlines or press briefings, appears written in the court of public perception. It's
Exactly.
subtle, yet definitive, and it's not looking good. The idea of a final sentence is often reserved for dramatic legal conclusions. The gavels drop, the twist of fate. But in Martin's case, it's a slow, unspoken closure of a once explosive career, sealed quietly by time, silence, and unresolved history. Following his immense success in the 90s, from headlining Martin to co-starring in the Bad Boys franchise, Martin Lawrence became a name synonymous with cultural influence. Yet as the 2000s unfolded, he slowly receded from the spotlight. For fans, the shift wasn't immediate, but over time it became unmissable. The roles became fewer. The interviews became rarer. The man who once dominated stage and screen suddenly wasn't there anymore. And that absence raises a quiet but persistent question. What happened to Martin Lawrence? The legal issues that shadowed his past, while not career-ending on their own, marked a turning point. The spiral of lawsuits left an indelible impact on his career. The one with his co-star was eventually settled out of court, and Campbell returned for the show's final episodes. But the damage lingered. Their inability to appear in scenes together during the show's conclusion was a visual confirmation that something had irrevocably shifted.
Wow,
But
I
still,
didn't know
Martin
that.
returned. In the early 2000s, he starred in hits like Big Mama's House and reprised his role in Bad Boys 2. Public memory, it seemed, could be forgiving, or at least selective. He was still a box office draw, still a force in comedy. But beneath that return was a quieter unraveling. There was never a clear explanation, and as the years passed, speculation filled the silence. Then, more silence. The film roles stopped coming. His name began to fade from headlines, not because he was irrelevant, but because he was absent. It wasn't a scandal that took him down. It was time, perhaps, or fatigue, or the slow accumulation of legal troubles, unresolved narratives, and unanswered questions. When Bad Boys for Life was released in 2020, there was a momentary resurgence. Martin appeared alongside Will Smith, and fans rejoiced. But even then, discussions began circulating about his subdued energy, physical changes, and whether he was still up for another sequel. Online forums and fan threads filled with concern, not outrage, but quiet sadness. But the mystery deepened because Martin Lawrence never offered an answer. He didn't give any answers in interviews. He didn't explain his absence. He didn't respond to rumors. And in that silence, a narrative formed. One that suggested his sentence had already been written, not by judges or journalists, but by time and distance. Unlike many celebrities who leave with a bang, scandal, cancellation, or retirement, Martin simply faded. Not completely, but significantly. He still appears in occasional interviews and social media posts, but his once constant presence has dimmed. He announced Bad Boys 4 in 2023, but even that sparked concern rather than excitement among some fans, with many noting that he seemed tired, physically slowed, or emotionally distant during promotional appearances. This is the part of a career no one prepares for. The quiet judgment that happens not in courts, but in comment sections. The final sentence isn't always loud. It can be the absence of noise, the lack of interest, the dwindling of the spotlight. Public sentiment has shifted, not with anger, but with a kind of mournful resignation. Fans say goodbye forever. In the realm of entertainment, few departures are as poignant as those that occur without fanfare. Martin Lawrence, once a dominant force in comedy and film, has gradually receded from the limelight, leaving fans grappling with a sense of unspoken farewell. For fans, it's not about holding him accountable anymore. It's about wondering where he went and if he's okay. Some call it retirement, others call it decline. But for many, it feels like a goodbye that never got said. Recent public appearances have sparked concern among his admirers. At the Los Angeles premiere of Bad Boys Ride or Die, Lawrence appeared unsteady, prompting co-star Will Smith to assist him on stage. This moment, captured on video, led to widespread speculation about his health. One fan commented, "I hope and pray he's not sick," reflecting the collective anxiety of many. Further fueling these concerns was Lawrence's demeanor during interviews and public events. Observers noted his subdued energy and occasional slurred speech, leading to rumors of underlying health issues. Despite these speculations, Lawrence addressed the rumors directly, stating, "I'm in God's hands. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be waking up every day. I'm all good. No need for people to be concerned." Nevertheless, the absence of new major roles and the actor's limited public engagements have left fans yearning for the vibrant performer they once knew. Social media platforms are replete with messages of nostalgia and concern. One fan expressed, "I miss seeing him on screen. It feels like we've lost a part of our youth." The gradual fading of Lawrence's presence in the entertainment industry has created a void, leading many to reflect on his impact and legacy. In the absence of definitive statements about retirement or future projects, fans are left in a state of limbo. The uncertainty surrounding Lawrence's career trajectory has transformed admiration into a form of mourning, as admirers come to terms with the possibility that the era of Martin Lawrence may be drawing to a close. What comes next? The implication of the final sentence is that something is over, complete, finished. But as fans watch Martin Lawrence now, older, quieter, less visible, another question begins to rise. Is this really the final sentence? Or just the end of a chapter? It's not easy to define the closing of an era, especially when the person at the center of it has given so much, influenced so many, and yet disappeared with such quiet. Martin Lawrence didn't just entertain, he reshaped the rhythm of black comedy in the 1990s. His stand-up was sharp, unpredictable, and electric. His sitcom Martin became a cultural time capsule, a touchstone for an entire generation where his outrageous characters, Jerome, Shenano, Otis, weren't just punchlines, they were extensions of his creative mind. His chemistry with co-stars, his fast-talking charisma, and his ability to make absurdity feel real were all part of a formula no one has ever truly replicated. Before Kevin Hart, Before Cat Williams, before the current wave of comedic crossover stars, there was Martin. Not just funny, but magnetic. Chaotic in the best way, vulnerable in the next. There's no easy way to define what he brought to the stage and screen because what he did wasn't formulaic. It was instinct, and that's why his absence now feels like more than just a career slowing down. It
Man,
feels
it was
personal.
funny.
He was great, and then he was gone. But maybe Martin's story resists that kind of closure. In 2020, he returned for Bad Boys for Life, reuniting with Will Smith, who has faced his own turbulence in recent years. And for a moment, fans saw a spark of what was. Not quite the full flame, but the embers. Enough to remind people that the fire once burned brightly. And now, with Bad Boys Ride or Die released in 2024, the public gaze returns. This time, it's more curious than celebratory. Not because his legacy is in doubt, but because his future is. Will there be a new stand-up special? A return to the stage where it all began? Will there
I don't
be
think so.
another sitcom, maybe even as a mentor figure, playing the elder comic guiding a new generation? Or is his quiet step away from the spotlight the ending we never expected but must accept? The truth is, no one knows. Not the media, not his fans, maybe not even Martin himself. And maybe that's okay. Martin Lawrence has earned his place, not just in box office records or sitcom rerun schedules, but in the cultural fabric, in the way comedians walk, in the way characters are built, in the cadence of jokes on stages he never set foot on. He changed the game, and not just once. So when fans whisper goodbye forever, it might not be grief they're expressing, but gratitude. A kind of emotional punctuation to a story that has meant something, that still means something. And yet the door isn't fully closed. Martin still shows up on red carpets, in press junkets, and on social media. Quietly, cautiously. Not with the same wild energy, but with the kind of presence that suggests he's still watching. That he's still part of it, even from the background. Because legacy isn't just about what comes next, it's about what already is. Legacy and reflection. It's important to step back and consider the broader picture, his legacy in the world of comedy and entertainment, and how it might endure beyond the weight of a final sentence. From his early days performing stand-up in Washington, D.C., to becoming a household name, Lawrence redefined what it meant to be a black comedian in mainstream media. His fearless approach to humor, blending physical comedy with sharp social observations, opened doors for many who followed. He was celebrated for his unique characters and unapologetic style. It's no exaggeration to say that Martin Lawrence helped shape a generation's comedic sensibility. His success on the big screen further cemented his status. Films like Bad Boys and Big Mama's House showcased his versatility, proving he could command action-packed roles as well as deliver gut-busting laughs. For years, Martin Lawrence was looking good. Not just in terms of box office numbers, but as a symbol of comedic talent and star power. His impact extended beyond entertainment, influencing fashion, language, and pop culture. Yet legacy is never without complication. The legal troubles and public controversies that have shadowed Lawrence in recent decades inevitably color how he is remembered. The horrid moments are part of the story, reminding us that even the brightest stars can face dark chapters. But legacy is not solely defined by mistakes or setbacks. It is also shaped by resilience, growth, and the ability to inspire. The entertainment industry is ever evolving, and with time, perspectives change. What seems like a farewell today could transform into a nuanced legacy tomorrow. Moreover, Martin Lawrence's willingness to continue performing, producing, and engaging with his audience suggests a desire to shape how his story unfolds. Whether he fully returns to the spotlight or chooses a quieter path, his contributions remain embedded in the fabric of comedy history. Martin Lawrence's story is one marked by immense talent, undeniable success, and complicated struggles. He captivated audiences with his sharp wit and magnetic presence, and for years Martin Lawrence was thriving. His career flourished, his influence growing, and his place in entertainment firmly established. However, as we've explored, the path wasn't without its obstacles. Legal troubles and public controversies began to cast shadows over his career. The sentence is final, and for Martin Lawrence, the outlook has become increasingly uncertain. His once bright trajectory now faces serious challenges, and the future is far from clear. Yet the story remains open-ended, wrapped in mystery and complexity. There is no definitive closure, only a narrative rich with unanswered questions and potential twists. Yet, the human element, the resilience, the possibility of redemption, and the unpredictable nature of life keeps the narrative alive. Martin Lawrence's future is unwritten, and only time will reveal where he goes from here. What do you think of Lawrence's decline? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.
Dang, young. Yeah, Martin, you can clearly tell, and I mean, come on, dog. First of all, weed, just regular weed, normal weed, natural weed, is not gonna make you run down the street saying, somebody trying to kill me. Nah, that mess was laced with some stuff. And the stuff that he was lacing his little weed with start coming up with his brain. Now he move a little slower. He's in a relaxed zone. He's still there. He just not, he don't need to be whippy and snot. Yo, man, what's up, dog? What's up? Hey, man, Gleb, boy, you crazy, man. You crazy. What? Shanae and all those characters. He don't want to do that no more. He just back saying, yeah, man, I'm just blessed to be here, dog. I'm happy and chilling. And that's not him. That's not the Martin we're looking for. So the Martin we're looking for, because of the drugs, allegedly, and this is just my opinion, he's more of a laid back. He want to be like that. He want to be laid back. He don't want to be in the spotlight, just chilling a little bit, but he need this thing called money. So that's why he back on the movie scene doing what he need to do to make this money, because the money running funny. That's just my opinion. Y'all take it, man. I know I don't see him getting on stage to do a tour and do some stand-up comedy. Now, as soon as I said I don't see him do it, watch he end up doing it. Look here, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.